Clear to play.
Matthew here from MiniWargaming.com, and this is a series of how to play Warhammer 40k 6th edition. Now I have to warn you, if you are already a seasoned veteran of the Warhammer 40k universe and 6th edition itself, then this series will not really be useful to you. This is more designed for the beginner to intermediate. In this series, we're going to cover everything from the beginner stuff, such as just the plain, what's the movement phase, what's the shooting phase, what's the assault phase, to how to move, how to shoot, how to assault, all the way up to more complicated questions like how to handle embarking and disembarking from transports, the special rules for vehicles and other special infantry, to flyers, psychic abilities, and everything else. So today we are going to talk about the basics of how to play Warhammer 40k. Let's get started. The very first thing we have to talk about is what you need in order to play a game of Warhammer 40k. Now, there are several things that you need. Some of them are optional, some of them are not. Most games of Warhammer 40k are played on a 6-foot by 4-foot table, much like the one that you see right here. You can see we have some terrain set up, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. The first thing that you're going to need is the Warhammer 40k Rulebook. And of course you want to make sure you have the latest edition. You can get this one of two ways. You can buy the hardcover book, the one that you see right here, or a much better way is to buy the starter set, Warhammer 40k Dark Vengeance. Now the Dark Vengeance starter set comes with two armies, a Dark Angels army, which is a chapter of the Space Marines, and also a Chaos Space Marine army. Now if you don't want to play either the Dark Angels or Chaos Space Marine army, then you'll need to buy the full rulebook. The Dark Vengeance starter set also comes with a small softcover rulebook, so it really helps to cut down on the cost. You will also need a Codex. This is a specific army book for the army you want to collect. The main rulebook teaches you all the rules, but you need the specific Codex for your army to have the stat lines for your models and all the special rules for your models. There are also a few tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a measuring tape that measures in inches. Any measuring tape will do though. You also need a Warhammer 40k template set. That is the clear acrylic green templates that you see. We have a large blast, a small blast, and a flame template. And you also need a lot of 6-sided dice. There's also one special 6-sided die called a scatter die that Games Workshop sells that you will need as well. And of course, you are going to need models to play with. What you're seeing right here are a few Chaos Cultists, as well as some regular Tactical Marines just from a regular Space Marine chapter. You can buy these at your local Games Workshop store, independent retailer that stocks Games Workshop products, or even on some online stores such as store.miniwargaming.com. I want to emphasize that you will need the rulebook even with this series of videos. This series of videos will teach you the basics as well as some of the trickier rules, but it will not cover every last thing. That would be impossible. So you definitely will need a Warhammer 40k rulebook if you want to play this game.